Hello everyone. So what is the biggest dilemma or a confusion a first year MBA graduate has? It is which companies to apply during the campus placement. So let us divide it into three key parameters. The first is the brand, next is the role, and third is the stipend. So brand could be the top 4 to 5 companies within that particular industry. So if you consider FMCG as a segment, then there could be the likes of HUL, ITC, Dabur, etc. If you consider paints as in the likes of Asian Paints, Nerolac Paints, it could be Berger Paints, etc. If you consider conglomerate as a segment, then it could be the likes of Tata, Reliance, Adani, Dalmia Bharat, etc. So considering stipend, it completely depends upon the what an organization has to offer to your institute. If you consider roles could be domain specific. So if you consider marketing as a domain, there could be the roles in branding, digital marketing, product development, or core sales. If you consider finance as a domain, it could be the roles of risk analyst, mergers and acquisition, BFSI sales, or private equity investment, etc. So how do you shortlist among these three parameters? So for summer internship to be focusing on, the key most important parameter is the role which is being offered by that particular organization. So a good role is going to help you build good CV points. And this good CV points is going to help you build good stories, which will help you convince the recruiter during your final placements. So getting into a role should be a topmost priority, which will eventually help you land into a sweet spot of brand, role, and CTC. The next best alternative is getting into a good brand, because brand will definitely help you add good value to your CV, as well as it will help you a chance to get a PPO. And next best alternative is going to be stipend. And eventually you will realize that the stipend of these 2 months is not going to matter that much going forward in your campus placement. So to conclude on, role is something which is going to carry a weightage of around 60%. A brand will carry a weightage of around 30%. And a stipend will carry a weightage of around 10%. Again, these selections are completely subjective to the what companies are visiting your campus and what they have to offer on your table. So going forward to the final placements, so making a decision about the brand, role, and the CTC is not a direct decision. There has to be a background preparation which goes through. The foremost first thing a candidate should do is to thoroughly grow through last 3 to 4 years of placement report. So what exactly do you see within a placement report? It is the top companies that visit your campus placement. Then you will try to find out what is the trend about those companies visiting in last 4 to 5 years. What are the top roles which are being offered by those companies, and what is the median and the maximum CTC which is being offered. Next important parameter to be analyzed is return on investment. What is the CTC being offered against the fees or the investment that you have done for your post-graduation? So next important parameter is what is a candidate's long-term goal or a long-term vision. In case a candidate wants to grow within a particular industry, say it could be IT industry or banking industry, then candidate has to shortlist top 4 to 5 companies which are visiting that campus. What are the roles which are being offered? One has to prepare around those roles, and what are the future career opportunities, or what are the market trends which are going in within that industry or within that role. So that is the few preparation thing which candidate needs to be done. Next is if a candidate wants to grow within a particular domain. So it could be a consulting domain where a candidate wants to target into getting into a big four such as KPMG, Deloitte, EY, PwC. Then what are the interview preparation, or what are the types of rounds which happen for these types of companies? So candidate has to a different roadmap or a strategy for this type of companies. Next is to getting into a particular role. So candidate has already created a mindset of getting into a sales role or getting into a mergers or acquisition role, then it has to be a complete different mindset or a roadmap for getting into these types of roles. So going forward, again, there will be two types of candidate. One who want to vertically grow within an organization or vertically grow within an industry. For them, something which is most important is the brand which they are getting into. Next important is the role which they are getting into, and third most is the CTC which is being offered. So candidates is pretty much sure that it wants to make a career into an FMCG domain. So for them, getting into a top brand is something which will carry a more value. And again, the role within that FMCG segment in which he or she wants to make a career. And last thing that will matter is the CTC. In case a candidate wants to have a diverse experience, in case it wants to go into a consulting domain and wants to have something experience more about banking sector, more experience in cards and payments domain, more experience in insurance domain before getting into a final dream of a consulting job, then for them, having a good CTC and brand will carry a more weightage than the role. So for them, targeting good CTC and good brand is something which is of utmost important. Again, there are third type of candidates for which who wants to get into an entrepreneurship or wants to have a immediate short-term gains or more focused about return of investment. For them, again, CTC is going to carry an more weightage than other two parameters. For final placements, a candidate should always try to focus on getting into that sweet spot of brand, role, and CTC. But in case a candidate is not able to get that, one should always focus to get at least a combination of two. So it could be a brand and a role, so that down the lines 3 to 4 years, a candidate can earn a good CTC, which can be covered up. Next could be a combination of brand and the CTC, so that a candidate can have a diverse experience within that particular brand in different roles. So at least try to get a combination of these two, and the third one will eventually follow you down the line post the campus placements. Again, all these suggestions were subjective to the what companies are visiting your campus, what they have to offer on their table. Make sure that you're not compromising on your long-term goal or long-term vision, especially during the final placements, because that is all you wanted to achieve throughout your life. So make a very wise decision, and all the best for campus placements. Thank you.